This was one of the best meals in my entire life.
The whole road to ourselves.
And it'll be a long couple of days, but I'm excited to be home for Christmas.
We left home to travel the world and brought work with us. Follow the journey as we immerse ourselves in cultures around the globe and inspire others to do the same.
We're Brandon and Aaron. Subscribe and stay tuned.
So today's our last full day in Buenos Aires, so we figured it was appropriate to get way too many empanadas. Last night we went to a milonga that was actually famous in the 30s and 40s. A milonga is where you go dance tango. We had like a little tango class before we went out, and then we went out to this really cool milonga and watched people dance tango late into the night. We were out till 2 a.m., got a late start today, and so I kind of have to work late into the day today, unfortunately.
We are at Vico Wine Bar, and it's self-serve, so you have all of these options. We're gonna get small servings so we could try a bunch. So now I take my card out. It's like Dave & Buster's for wine.
So I got a 2013 Malbec because we had a Malbec from Mendoza, and that was a 2013. We absolutely loved it, so I wanted to try our theory that we liked 2013 Mendoza Malbecs. Wow, it's really good. We ordered just a bunch of stuff. It's like a tapas place called Proper, and it looks good so far.
This was one of the best meals in my entire life. Everything was so inventive, so unique. We were looking at some items on the menu thinking, corn and grapefruit or eggplant and capers. This sounds weird, but then we're like, okay, sure, we'll order it. Incredible. We have 2 more hours till Santiago. Then we have a night there. Then we fly to Toronto, Canada. Then we fly to New York. Our travel back home has started, and it'll be a long couple of days, but I'm excited to be home for Christmas. We are back at our bed and breakfast in Santiago. The best part. We have our own balcony. There's like a block party going on. Some dancers are about to take a stage. I don't know, but I feel like we have the best seat in the house. We're back at our favorite Thai restaurant from last time we were in Santiago. This is our last night in South America. I was just telling the guy who works down at the reception, and I almost started crying because this is just an end of a chapter. And I know we have so many amazing memories and so many traveling adventures to come, but it's kind of surreal. And I think the perfect way to end it is by sitting out on our balcony, having some Chilean wine, and being a part of this cultural event. going to Pueblos Los Dominicos, which is an artisan little fair for some handicrafts. We haven't been on a metro since Medellin. So we got out at the Los Dominicos metro stop and heading up to the convent, which is this white church right here. Organized. They have all the stalls color-coded in what they're selling. Textiles, jewelry, wood, ceramics. A lot of different things. That could fit in the bag. Pretty bizarre hearing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and also being amongst palm trees. Doesn't feel like Christmas yet, but in about 29 hours we'll be in freezing cold, so that'll be Christmas.
So we sat down for lunch and decided, since this is our last day in Chile, we'd have one of our favorite beers we had in Chile, which is the Cerveza Austral. Pretty mainstream, you can get it most places, but it's very good, so why not? So I got choclo, which is a traditional dish in Chile. I haven't been able to try it because it's usually with meat and we're vegetarians, but on our last day in Chile, we came to a cafe that had a vegetarian version. So I went ahead and tried it, and it's so good, like so filling. Kind of like a casserole, corn-infused dish. I'm not really sure how else to describe it. You have to try it for yourself if you come here. It's absolutely delicious.
So the past couple of hours were a bit of a whirlwind. We showed up to the airport, 6 hours early? We had a super late flight tonight, and we just didn't know what else to do in Santiago. So we were like, okay, we'll just go to the airport and go to the lounge. When you check a bag, which we never ever do, you can't drop your bag off until 3 hours before your flight. So we just waited around.
And then we got to the lounge and it was great. And now we're on our way to Toronto, Canada.
That's Latam.
That's not the plane. It's not that. So we don't want to jinx it, but we're just about to board a 10.5-hour flight. And so far, nobody's in the middle seat because we booked the aisle and the window. And hopefully nobody booked the middle seat. With fingers crossed. We were not the last people to board, but definitely among the last. So hopefully nobody comes and sits here, and we have this whole row to ourselves, 10.5 hours to Toronto.
Thank you. The whole row to ourselves.
So we've been in the lounge for 4 hours now. After our 10.5-hour flight overnight, we did not sleep very well, and our flight doesn't take off till 4:30 for New York. So we have like 4 hours left in the lounge, but the good thing is that it's a nice lounge, there's good food and good Wi-Fi, so we're getting some work done.
We have 1 more hour in the lounge. It's like we're running a marathon. This is like mile 22. Brandon did his entire day of work, and I finished editing a full video from start to finish. So we really put our heads down and we wanted to get things done. Now we're allowed to drink. 8-hour lounge day is coming to a close, and we're gonna go to our gate. More like 10 hours. We boarded our last flight of this first leg of our trip. We are heading back to New York City just in time for Christmas. Christmas!
And tray table stowed. For your safety, you must wear your seatbelt when the seatbelt light has been turned on.
Imagine being on a flight and not hearing Spanish. Just English and French.
I think that's Spanish.
No, they're speaking Spanish.
Right when you decide to record them. I just hurt myself though.
I convinced Brandon to take a Argentinian tango lesson. There wasn't really much convincing. I just kind of booked the lesson.
I'm not excited. The thing that doesn't excite me the most is that we gotta be out all night. You don't just take the lesson. The lesson would be fine. I wouldn't be thrilled about it. But after the lesson, they take you to a club. And that's like not what I want to be doing.
We got a grandpa over here. Didn't want to go out past 10 p.m.
I like my sleep.
Any last words?
These hips don't lie. I've never actually seen tango happen.
So what do you think tango would look like?
I don't know, like salsa. I'm gonna be tangoing all over this town.
Wait. Bags barely fit. Getting new bags for Christmas. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Ciao. I've been thinking about this for months, years. Indian culture, Indian food, Indian music, the colors, the smells, both good and bad.
We always look for a local, because otherwise it's terrifying to cross these roads.
I'm gonna close my eyes. Can't watch.
What's happening?
I'm freaking out. It's an elephant. It's coming down the street.